Okay, so let's start on our review sheet. Number 1 says that we're just rewriting in rational exponent form. Remember fractions. So on here, all we're doing is taking our root. Remember our flower power? You have roots in your denominator, and your power goes up top. Lovely flower, huh? So you take each one of these. And this is what some of you guys didn't do on your quiz. You take each one of these and you have to write it in exponential form. So it's 5 in the power of 1 over 4, A 3 over 4, B 1 over 4. Easy part of the test. Okay, on here, same thing. It's going to be A 5 over 3, power on top, root on the bottom, B 7 over 3. And you're just leaving them as is. Don't simplify, don't do anything, just write them as is. So now on the next one, it's doing the exact same thing. We'll start at number 4 and then we'll go to number 3. So because they have the same exponent, then we can put the root. Your 3 needs to go right there. Some of you are putting it out here. That's a no-no. Don't write your 3 on the outside. It's got to go inside, in between that radical sign. So now we have 4 to the first power, x squared, y to the first. Now we don't need all of those ones there, so we have the cube root of 4x squared y. And that's our answer. Now, let's go back to number 3. Number 3, the problem with this one is they all have different denominators. So, in this case, we're going to have to find a common denominator. So, then we can write it as 1 root. So, you need a common denominator here. And our common denominator between a 6 and a 2 and a 3 is going to be 6. So this is already a 6, so it's 1 6. Then you multiply it by 3 to the top and bottom. That gives us 3 6 and 2. So it gives us 2 6. And now we can write them all under the 6th root. 5 to the first, x to the third, and y squared. And then we're done with this one. So easy ones to rewrite in either rational exponent form or radical notation. Okay, so on this next section, we're going to have to evaluate these without using a calculator. Now you're going to have to justify, you must show your work. So you must justify how you're getting the answer. So if you're just writing down an answer for these and showing me no work, then I'm not going to give you any credit on the quiz. So please be careful on this one. And I'll say that you must show work to receive credit on the quiz. If not, it'll be completely wrong. So let's not make that mistake. So what am I looking for work shown? Well, the whole idea is for you to find a smaller base. So, and then simplify any radicals and any exponents. So right here, you need to be smaller base. So how can we rewrite 9? Well, we can rewrite 9 as 3 squared raised to the 3 halves. Now, exponent rules say that when you're raising a power to another power, then you can multiply your exponents. So now we have 2 over 1, that's how you write that as a fraction, and then you have times 3 halves. Well, those will cancel, and then you're just left with 3 cubed. And 3 cubed is 27. So your answer is 27. So that's what I expect to see when you're doing these without using a calculator and showing all your work. Okay, let's look at 16. So on this one, we have a negative 2/3. So to get that to be happy, this is the elevator problem, where I stick it over 1, and it's on the top floor of the mall, and it's got to go down to the bottom floor. So we have to take the elevator down to the bottom. So now we can rewrite this as 1 over 16, and now it's happy on the lower level. So it's not negative 3 halves anymore, it's positive. So now we can rewrite 16 to a smaller base. So we want to get this base. We want to get something to the second power. So we can rewrite that as 4 squared. And you know, I'm giving you the exponents on the board so you can look at that. Times 3/2. Well, same thing here. You can multiply them. I'm going to come down here. Multiply the powers together. So 2 over 1 times 3/2. The 2's are going to cancel, and you're going to be left with 1 over 4/3. Well, 4/3 is 64, so this gives us 1 over 64. And that's our answer on that one. Okay, let's do number 7. So, same base. So we don't do anything with the same base. We can rewrite this as 36 to the 3/4 divided by 36 to the 1/4. They have their same base. So if you're having the same base, what do we do with the exponents? Hopefully everybody will say subtract. So we have 36, 3/4 minus 1/4 is going to give us 2/4. Well, then 2/4 can reduce down to 1/2. And now we can rewrite 36 down to a smaller base of 6 squared to the 1/2. And those cancel, and so we're just left with 6. 6 to the first is 6. Okay, so number 9. Nope, number 8. Again, I want to rewrite this to a smaller base, so 4 can be rewritten as 2 squared to the 3/2. Now we got to deal with these exponents. You know that we can multiply them. When we do that, the 2's cancel, and so we're left with 2/3, which is 8. Remember, small base, smallest base possible. Number 9. Okay, so we have the same base. So what do we do with same base and we're multiplying? We add the exponents. So the base stays the same, so you have 9, 1/3 plus 5/3, which is going to equal 6/3. Well, 6/3 can be reduced. This can be reduced. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now we have 9 squared, which is just 81. I'm hoping this is making more sense now that we've kind of practiced this. We went over the quiz, and now we're reviewing some more. Okay, number 10. How do we rewrite 343? I'm looking at the board. 343 is 7 to the 3rd raised to the 2/3. Again, when you're raising a power to a power, you multiply the exponents, which allows the 3's to cancel. So you're left with 7 squared, and 7 squared is equal to 49. Okay, what I would also suggest is that you go back over your quiz again in the review sheet for this last quiz and do those problems again too, because it might show up that they might be a little harder, more like our quiz than necessarily this. So make sure you go back and review both. Okay, I'm going to stop there for today, and then we'll come back to this later.